The man who killed 4 University of Idaho students has been sentenced to life in prison. And according to health officials in Gaza, at least 46 civilians have starved to death in that enclave so far this month. Good morning. I'm Corva Coleman from NPR News, and here are today's top stories. A key House subcommittee has voted to subpoena the Justice Department to release the files on late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. 3 Republicans joined all the Democrats on the panel in this vote. Separately, the House Oversight Committee chair has issued a subpoena to Epstein's former girlfriend, who is imprisoned for sex trafficking. Republican Chair James Comer says that his panel is seeking information about the Epstein case. President Trump is under pressure by his supporters to release more details about Epstein. The Wall Street Journal has published a report about Trump and his links with Epstein. It says Trump was informed last May his name appeared several times in investigation documents of Epstein. NPR has not confirmed this reporting, and the reported appearance of Trump's name in any of these documents is not an indication of wrongdoing. NPR's Domenico Montanaro has more.
He and Epstein were friends for years, seen on video partying together, even was on flight logs for Epstein's plane before falling out over a property dispute. For Trump's part, a White House spokesperson said in a statement that Trump kicked Epstein, quote, out of his club for being a creep and pivoted to talking about Russia's involvement in the 2016 election.
NPR's Domenico Montanaro reporting. The man who killed 4 University of Idaho students in 2022 has been sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms in prison. Brian Kohberger will never be eligible for parole. For Northwest Public Broadcasting, Lauren Patterson reports he never gave a motive for the murders.
Kohberger sat silently as friends and families of victims Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin read statements about how the murders have affected their lives. Kaylee Goncalves' father, Steve Goncalves, faced Kohberger head-on at the podium as he spoke.
You tried to plant fear. You tried to divide us. You failed. Instead, your actions have united everyone in their disgust for you.
When asked if he wanted to make a statement, Kohberger declined. For NPR News, I'm Lauren Patterson in Boise.
The Trump administration wants to reverse a 2009 decision that underpins much of the federal government's work on climate change. NPR's Jeff Brady has more.
The Environmental Protection Agency determined in 2009 that greenhouse gases from burning fossil fuels endanger public health and the environment. The EPA's endangerment finding is the basis for regulating climate pollution from power plants, cars, and the oil and gas industry. If the finding is reversed, limits on those pollutants could go away. Trump's EPA says previous administrators overstepped their legal authority in making the finding. Environmentalists call this reversal a giveaway to the oil industry. Once a proposal is released, the public will have a chance to comment, and it's likely the final decision will be challenged in court. Jeff Brady, NPR News.
Civil rights attorney Ben Crump says he intends to sue a Florida law enforcement agency. This comes after video came to light of one of its officers arresting college student Will McNeil Jr. last February. The video raised questions about racial profiling and alleged police brutality. From member station WJCT, Will Brown reports.
The video shows officers with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office breaking the window of a vehicle and punching McNeil in the face during a traffic stop. McNeil says he was scared.
That day, I just really wanted to know, why I was getting pulled over and why I needed to step out the car when I knew I didn't do nothing wrong.
Crump says the stop was racially motivated. Law enforcement body camera footage released this week shows deputies repeatedly demanding McNeil exit his vehicle prior to his physical removal and arrest. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says it has stripped the law enforcement duties of one officer until the investigation is complete. It also announced the state attorney will not prosecute the incident. For NPR News, I'm Will Brown.
Columbia University will pay more than $200 million to the federal government to resolve multiple federal investigations. The settlement will restore access to billions of dollars in federal funding. That includes unfreezing grants and opening opportunities for future research. NPR's Alyssa Nadworny reports.
The university's acting president, Claire Shipman, released some of the details of the agreement in a statement, which stems from allegations by the Trump administration that the school fostered anti-Semitism on campus. Shipman said the settlement would address concerns about admissions and hiring, though she didn't provide details. And future disputes will go to an independent monitor and arbitrator, functioning as neutral third parties. She did make it very clear in her statement that Columbia will retain control over its academic and operational decisions. On Truth Social, President Trump thanked Columbia for, quote, agreeing to do what is right. He went on to say that settlements with other higher education institutions are upcoming. Alyssa Nadworny, NPR News.
Israeli restrictions on food deliveries to Gaza have led to a surge in deaths from malnutrition. According to Gaza health officials, at least 46 civilians in Gaza have starved to death this month. NPR's Anas Baba reports from Gaza City.
In this Gaza City hospital, dozens of mothers cradle their infants. Most of the babies here are too weak to cry. The hospitals in the patient's friend's hospital, it's the only hospital that can treat severe malnutrition in North Gaza. But it's been forced to suspend its malnutrition program. They have run out of all supplies. Aid organizations say Israeli continues to block most aid coming into Gaza. Najah Abu Shhada, baby boy, is among the children here. He's a year old and weighs just under 7 pounds. She says she relies on charity meals. But when that's not available, she says, we go to sleep hungry. Anas Baba, NPR News, Gaza City.
Hamas has given mediators its response to a proposal for a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza. As NPR's Daniel Estrin reports from Tel Aviv, Israel is signaling optimism about the chances for a ceasefire agreement.
Hamas announced in the middle of the night that it submitted its response to the latest ceasefire proposal presented by international mediators. In a statement shared with NPR, an Israeli source involved in the negotiations said the Hamas response is workable for Israel and that Israeli negotiators are studying what Hamas is proposing. The source spoke on condition of anonymity in line with protocol discussing the closed-door negotiations. Hamas has been negotiating an Israeli troop withdrawal from parts of Gaza, commitments on humanitarian aid into Gaza, and international guarantees that the ceasefire will continue and Israel will commit to holding talks about a final end of war. U.S. Mideast envoy Steve Witkoff is expected to meet Israel's top negotiator in Italy today, a sign of progress toward a Gaza ceasefire deal. Daniel Estrin, NPR News, Tel Aviv.
You're listening to NPR.